Hello guys and dolls, welcome back to Honey Badger 3D Print and Paint. Today we are taking a look at the DID3D full-size Ironman bust. Before we get started, a word from our sponsor and roll those credits.
PCBWay are proud sponsors of the channel. They offer industry-leading 3D printing services covering all types of materials and processes. They also offer industry-leading online CNC machine services from milling, machining, and turning in all the materials you could possibly need. They also offer a fully online prototyping PCB service. Everything from assembly through to design, you can do it all online with an easy system to use for quality. So for all of your needs, check out PCBWay in the link in the video description.
Okay, so the channel is now sponsored by Sunlu. Please take a look at the link in the video description. There is a 10% off coupon. Full disclosure, that is an affiliate link, and Sunlu are now sending us materials regularly so that we can do larger, cooler models without having to worry about the material cost. This model is by a chap called DID3D. He has a number of very, very detailed 3D models, and he does an absolutely astonishingly good job at cutting these models up and making them printable. So what he does is everything that you see that's a different colour prints separately. So the mask, the cheeks, these side fins, all of the arms, there's rear pieces, all of these individual rockets, they all print individually and separately, meaning you can paint them separately and then you bring them together to assemble them. He also does all the wiring channels for you, and he gives you pretty detailed and pretty good instructions with a kit with a bill of materials for all the stuff you need for the electronics. Now, the electronics. I did not do them well. I tried using an Arduino Uno, which is the little one. That should have given me an animated arc sensor or arc reactor. It didn't work. I tried it. I tried 3 Arduino Unos. I just could not get them to write the firmware properly to mean that they output the voltage the way that they needed to. It's not his fault when it comes to electronics. I really struggle with this stuff. I'm getting to a place where I can just about, light things up and get things working like that. I'm just not where I need to be when it comes to sort of making models animated with their lights. I'm getting there, and it's progress, but I'm just not quite there yet. I'm sort of still in that kit bashing stage where I'm dismantling toys that have light patterns the way that I want, and then just sort of finding ways to stuff all of the electronics that come with them into other machines. But that being said, there's things I love about this. The details of things like these shoulder rockets that in theory come out. Well, anyway, the shoulder rockets that come out, I really, really like. The way I did those was I put all the rockets in graphite powder in a box, and I shook the box. Then I poured them out into a cloth, and I literally just rubbed the cloth. That buffed them, and that gave me this sort of really good, cool metallic look. And then I just did this little dab of copper on top of all of them. It's a really, really cool effect. I really like the way that it went. The way to get this red. So this particular red is a duplicolor metallic red, but what it actually is a tint, not a paint. So you paint the whole model silver. You paint it a chrome, and then you spray it over the top with the duplicolor. Duplicolor works pretty much the same way as X27 does on Tamiya paints. X27 gives a fantastic finish, but obviously because of the size of this thing, I had to try and use a rattle can. I'm still getting used to rattle cans and how you use them, how you use spray patterns, the sort of the distance and the layering and the layer upon layer and the drying times. And then you have to be really careful of paint reactions. So I had to strip this 3 times because I tried using a chrome from another paint provider, and as soon as I put the Duplicolor metal cast on top, it did not work well. It crackled and the paints reacted. The chrome that I used for this is Rust-Oleum's chrome, and that came out really good. I then used the paint over the top for the metal cast of Duplicolor. That came out really good. Then you come on to 2Ks. So 2K is a really high gloss finish that you can buff when it's done. I put my first 2K on. Unfortunately, the one I was using was basically a yacht varnish, and it did not react well. Stripped the whole thing again, had to start all over again. I highly recommend that you print an extra piece and you do paint tests. Let's take a look around the model and you can see how a lot of this went together and some of my favourite parts.
Drop it. Drop it.
So you can see it's a really detailed model. I really love the way that it looks. I love the finish. I love the size. If anything lets it down, it's my wiring. It's a little messy underneath, and as you can see, he's quite unstable at the moment, and that's because I used Wago connectors underneath, and when I used the Wago connectors, they basically don't fit into his base the way they're supposed to. So again, my fault, but a little annoyed at myself more than anything else that I didn't get that quite how I wanted it. But I love the way that he did all of his wires. There is supposed to be lights in the shoulders as well, but I printed a section of this with supports, and I didn't get all the supports out of the channel before I assembled the model. My own fault. And that meant that I couldn't get the wires through, so that the shoulders don't light up, and they should. I'm annoyed with myself that the Arduino doesn't work, because maybe if I'd have just persevered a little bit more, I would have lost the last part of my sanity, and then I just wouldn't have cared. So I hope you guys like this one. This was one of my... I've been wanting to do more life-size stuff, but material costs and everything have sort of stopped me from doing it. But with the sponsorship from Sunlu now, you're going to start seeing some larger stuff on the channel. So yeah, I really like it. I hope you guys like it too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Sunlu link in the video description. Don't forget to use the affiliate link and you'll get 10% off. And it's a great way to support the channel. Thank you, Sunlu. and thank you very much for watching. We'll catch you on the next video.